Hi, I'm Darcy Karhoff. Did any of us think we would still be involved with the Tea Party and politics when we went to our first rally 5 years ago? When I joined the Tea Party movement at the end of 2009, I did not expect to still be doing it in 2014. I wasn't politically active, and I certainly didn't anticipate being in a leadership position as a full-time volunteer. The Tea Party took our message of constitutionally limited government, a free market economy, and fiscal responsibility to rallies across the nation and to Capitol Hill, and finally to the polls in November 2010. We thought that was enough, but we soon realized that nothing in Washington had changed. After those rallies 5 years ago, most people went back home and back to their daily lives. Some continued to go to Tea Party meetings. Some got more involved with their local political parties. A few even ran for office. Even through IRS intimidation, President Obama's re-election, and media reports of our death, Tea Party patriots continued to fight. But how have we evolved, and where do we go from here? The beauty of the Tea Party is that it has no leader. We've always been made up of everyday citizens who just got tired of watching their government become too big and spend too much of our money. We needed a place to come together to be heard, and that place was the rallies of 2009 and 2010. After the passage of Obamacare on Christmas Eve, we got involved in grassroots campaigns to change Congress. We went through the political process. We went to our state conventions. We helped get out the vote and true the vote on Election Day. And we won. We celebrated, we rested, and many of us tried to go back to our everyday lives. We won a battle, but we failed to realize we were still losing the war. After November 2010, Tea Parties from around the country became focused on local issues, but lost our unified focus at a national level. We tried to come together to get behind a presidential candidate for 2012. We watched in shock as the establishment once again united to nominate their candidate. At the same time, we watched in horror as the Supreme Court ruled that the individual mandate of the Affordable Care Act was constitutional. We felt betrayed. Most Tea Partiers I knew felt totally defeated. The media declared the Tea Party movement over after the re-election of President Obama. We were definitely battered, bruised, and bloodied. We knew we needed to continue, to do more, to do it differently, to grow. Then, in May of 2013, something happened that again brought Tea Parties from around the country together for one unifying purpose. We learned the IRS had been targeting Tea Party and other conservative groups for additional scrutiny, something many of us had known for years. This revelation caused a resurgence of the movement that no one could have predicted. Our membership swelled. Groups started working together and networking more. We once again had a common issue. Unluckily, we had other unifying issues, such as NSA surveillance or immigration reform, that have continued to motivate us and our members to stay active. But how do we continue to stay motivated when hot-button issues are no longer in the headlines? How do we stay connected with other like-minded groups and spread our message to others who are willing to listen? We need a focused goal. We need a focused message. We need to work together. Tea Party Patriots has the tools we need to help us work together with a focused goal and message. Our goal as a grassroots organization must be to continue to help people recognize their values and principles are our values and principles. That is how we win elections and eventually how we will win the war. We must embrace a message that doesn't divide, isolate, or bore people who aren't currently involved in politics or the Tea Party, but might otherwise have our same values. Our original message of constitutionally limited government, free market economy, and fiscal responsibility sounds great to us. But to college kids, it sounds old-fashioned. To average citizens, it sounds incomprehensible. To independents and social liberals, it sounds extreme. Although we love the Constitution, the American flag, and the red, white, and blue, many Americans feel you are flaunting your patriotism or saying you are more American than they are because you look like the flag threw up on you. So how do you change the way you talk about these things that matter so much? We start by going into our neighborhoods and talking to people. As a grassroots movement, most Tea Party groups have moved away from big rallies and big events. Rallies are good for reminding us that we're not alone and reminding our elected officials how many of their constituents feel the same way. However, we need to find ways to reach out beyond our base. which means going out into our communities and talking to our neighbors using words that everyone can embrace and understand. Personal freedom, economic freedom, a debt-free future. When you start walking your neighborhoods and going out into your community, don't whip out your Constitution and wear your American flag shirt. Dress like your neighbors. Introduce yourselves as members of your local Tea Party group and ask them if they've heard about the Tea Party and what their opinion is about it. If they don't slam the door in your face, you can assume they're open to learning more. Personal freedom. Ask them what personal freedom means to them. It is so important to connect this issue at an individual level. Maybe your neighbors had to fight with their local HOA or school board. Maybe they're afraid the government is collecting their emails and text messages. Maybe they want to start a business but can't because of all the bank regulations. Or maybe they just want to feed the homeless, or their kids want to sell lemonade, but they can't without getting a license. A smaller, less intrusive government equals more personal freedom. Economic freedom. Everyone wants more money in their pocket. Ask your neighbors what an extra 5% of their paycheck could mean for them. Ask if they've noticed the increasing food prices. Ask them if they think it is fair that a government can print their own money to pay their increasing debts, while millions of Americans are struggling to pay their monthly bills. Lower taxes plus reduced government spending equals economic freedom. A debt-free future. America has always been a place where one generation has been more prosperous than the previous generation. Parents want their kids to have more opportunities and be more successful than they were. No one wants to saddle their children with their financial burdens. But that is exactly what we're doing when we are more than $17.5 trillion in debt, or $55,000 for every man, woman, and child. A balanced budget plus eliminating the debt equals a debt-free future for our children and grandchildren. Being a Tea Party activist is thankless. Being a Tea Party activist is exhausting. Being a Tea Party activist is hard work. And frankly, being a Tea Party activist doesn't pay very well. Just ask my husband. But we all volunteer our time and talents because we believe in pursuing our American dream. When I look at my 3 children and I see how quickly their personal and economic freedoms are being taken away by our out-of-control government, I remember why I chose to get involved and why I will continue to stay involved. There will always be issues that will wake up more people and bring them to Tea Party meetings. Fast and Furious, Benghazi, the NSA surveillance program, the IRS targeting, Obamacare, $17.5 trillion in debt. There will certainly be more. So go. Embrace the newly awakened Tea Partiers and put them to work in your organization. Teach and practice this new messaging with your Tea Party members. Take this new messaging into your daily conversations, Tea Party meetings, and into your neighborhoods. By spreading our message of personal freedom, economic freedom, and a debt-free future, we will all be able to say to every American, pursue your American dream.